Imagine an object born in the shadow of a volcano, crafted by skilled hands in a world of opulence and danger. This object, a mosaic, was more than just decoration. It was a silent witness to the rhythms of ancient Roman life, a piece of art that saw laughter, secrets, and the daily rituals of a family living on the edge of history. Picture the bustling home of a wealthy Roman family, their villa filled with music, conversation, and the scent of fresh bread. The mosaic lay beneath their feet, absorbing every moment, every story as generations passed above it. Then in a single terrifying instant, the world changed. Mount Vesuvius erupted, sending a deadly cloud of ash and pumice racing down the slopes. The mosaic, along with the villa and its people, was buried under a suffocating blanket, lost to memory for nearly 2,000 years. Centuries later, archaeologists digging through layers of history uncovered the mosaic, its colors still vivid, its subject matter shocking even modern eyes. News of its rediscovery spread quickly, captivating the world with its scandalous and playful imagery. But the mosaic's journey was far from over. It would travel across borders, pass through many hands, and become the focus of fascination, controversy, and even crime. During the chaos of World War II, the Nazis seized the mosaic, along with countless other treasures. It vanished into the fog of war, its fate uncertain, its story nearly lost once again. Yet against all odds, the mosaic survived, scarred but intact. It became a symbol of endurance, a testament to the resilience of art and the stories it carries through centuries of disaster, theft, and neglect. Our journey begins in a luxurious villa near Herculaneum, nestled on the coast not far from Pompeii, where the mosaic was first laid down as a bold statement of taste and humor. The mosaic, depicting the mischievous god Pan in a risque scene with a goat, was designed to amuse, provoke, and perhaps even shock the villa's guests, a reminder of the Romans' complex relationship with myth, pleasure, and art. When Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD, the mosaic was sealed away, perfectly preserved beneath layers of ash, waiting for the world to rediscover its secrets. Today, the mosaic stands as both a forbidden secret and a powerful symbol of art's ability to endure. Its story is one of survival, transformation, and the eternal human desire to create, to remember, and to be remembered. What exactly does this infamous mosaic reveal to us about the ancient world? At first glance, it might seem simply bizarre or even offensive to modern eyes, but to the Romans, it was a window into a very different set of values and beliefs. The god Pan, half man, half goat, is depicted here in a shocking act with a female goat. This image, as startling as it is, was not meant to be hidden away. Instead, it was displayed openly, challenging viewers and sparking conversation. Crafted with remarkable skill and attention to detail, the mosaic was designed not just to provoke, but also to entertain and impress. The artisans who created it were masters of their craft, using tiny pieces of colored stone to bring myth and humor to life. Discovered in 1752 at the Villa of the Papyri, a luxurious home filled with art, scrolls, and treasures, this mosaic stood out even among the villa's many wonders. Its presence hints at the bold tastes and playful spirit of its wealthy owners. For Romans, Pan symbolized untamed nature, wild instincts, and the unpredictable forces of the world. He was both a figure of humor and a reminder of the primal energy that lay beneath civilization's surface. Displaying such an image was a nod to life's wild side, a sophisticated joke for guests, or perhaps a protective charm meant to keep misfortune at bay. It was a conversation starter, a way to break the ice and show off the owner's wit. Romans often used explicit images to ward off evil, believing that the shock and humor of such scenes could avert bad luck and attract good fortune. These images were woven into daily life, from jewelry to household decorations. What we might see as obscene or inappropriate, they saw as a talisman, a clever piece of art, and even a source of laughter. The boundaries between sacred, profane, and playful were far more fluid in Roman society. The mosaic was likely placed in a prominent spot where guests would see it as soon as they entered, sparking conversation, laughter, and perhaps even a little shock, exactly as intended. It reminds us not to judge the past by our own standards, but to try to understand the world as the Romans saw it, full of contradictions, humor, and complexity. This little artwork reveals a world far more complex and far more comfortable with the raw, untamed side of life than we might expect. It's a vivid reminder that history is never as simple as it seems. When most people think of Roman art, they picture marble emperors, stern faces frozen in time, and grand arches rising above ruined forums. But Roman art is so much more than these iconic images. It's a vibrant, living record of a society that was as complex and colorful as any today. Beyond the marble, Roman art is messy, funny, and surprisingly bawdy. It captures the everyday joys and private jokes of a people who didn't take themselves too seriously, and who found humor in the world around them. The buried cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum have given us a window into Roman life as it was truly lived. Bustling, commercial, deeply superstitious, and unafraid of earthy humor. Their streets and homes were filled with art that reflected their beliefs, their aspirations, and their sense of fun. In private spaces, like dining rooms and bedrooms, art such as the famous Pan Mosaic was playful and provocative. These works were designed to amuse guests, spark conversation, and show off the host's worldliness and taste for the exotic. Romans openly embraced the human body and its functions, celebrating both beauty and imperfection. Their art reflected this openness, depicting scenes of daily life, love, and even the more risque aspects of existence without shame. Their humor was direct, their jokes often crude, and their graffiti as lively and irreverent as anything you might find on a city wall today. These scribbles and drawings reveal a society that loved to laugh, tease, and poke fun at itself. The Pan Mosaic, for example, was more than just decoration. It was a witty, risque statement, a sign of a confident, relaxed elite who enjoyed pushing boundaries and entertaining their friends. Later generations, scandalized by such honesty and openness, locked these objects away, hiding a vital part of Roman life from public view. For centuries, these artifacts were kept behind closed doors, misunderstood or ignored. But when we look at these artifacts today, we're reminded that the Romans were not just distant marble figures. They were real people with all the messiness, humor, and contradictions of life. To truly understand the Romans, we must embrace their complexity, their laughter, and their humanity, seeing them not as statues, but as people who lived, loved, and left their mark on history. World War II was a war on culture as much as on nations. Hitler and his commanders looted art across Europe, seeing themselves as heirs to classical greatness. Italy, rich in ancient treasures, was a prime target. As Allied forces advanced, Nazi plundering intensified. The Pan Mosaic was stolen from Naples by a German officer, vanishing into the chaos. It became a spoil of war, a symbol of Italy's stolen identity. The Nazis weren't just taking objects, they were trying to claim history itself. The mosaic's journey into darkness had begun. After the war, Allied teams raced to recover looted art, but some treasures slipped through the cracks. The Pan Mosaic was one of them. Its theft, a minor event amid the chaos, its trail quickly going cold. For decades, it was listed as missing, presumed lost or destroyed. In reality, it had quietly passed into the hands of a German family. Decades later, in the 1990s, the family offered it to Berlin's Altes Museum. The mosaic, stolen from Naples, now sat in a German museum, its true story unknown. Curators in Italy mourned its loss, while in Germany, it was just another artifact. The mosaic's fate seemed sealed until a new chapter began. Its journey from volcanic tomb to Nazi loot to museum obscurity is a tale of survival and secrecy. But the truth, as always, would eventually come to light. For nearly 25 years, the Pan Mosaic sat in Berlin's Altes Museum, its origins forgotten. Museums are filled with such mysteries, objects with lost histories. The breakthrough came thanks to Italian art detectives, the Carabinieri TPC, experts in tracking stolen art. Comparing databases, they spotted the unmistakable mosaic. Careful investigation confirmed it. The Berlin mosaic was the one stolen from Naples. The evidence was overwhelming. Dimensions, materials, and photos all matched. German officials, recognizing the truth, agreed to return it. This act reflected a new commitment to righting the wrongs of wartime looting. The mosaic's return was a moment of historical justice. In early 2024, the Pan Mosaic finally began its journey home. Its return was celebrated by Italian and German officials, a symbol of reconciliation and shared heritage. The mosaic went on display at Pompeii, seen by the public for the first time in over 80 years. For curators, it was a moment of pride and relief, a lost piece of history restored. The return is part of a broader movement to address the legacy of Nazi art theft. Museums now face growing pressure to examine their collections and return looted objects. The mosaic's homecoming is a victory for international cooperation, art detectives, and the enduring power of history. After centuries of upheaval, it was finally where it belonged. Why does this small, scandalous mosaic matter? It forces us to see the Romans as they truly were: complex, messy, and deeply human. Its journey is a lesson in the fragility of culture and the dangers of trying to control history. The Nazis believed that by stealing art, they could rewrite the past. The mosaic's recovery as a statement art belongs to humanity, not conquerors. Its survival through disaster, censorship, theft, and obscurity is a testament to resilience. This object connects us to the past, reminding us that our shared heritage is precious and vulnerable. How we treat these artifacts reveals what we value as a society. And somewhere, more stories like this are waiting to be rediscovered and returned home.